The new schools chief in Danville knows all too well the trauma and turmoil felt after a school shooting. Greg Ross was a teacher in the Paducah area when there was a school shooting at Heath High School back in December of 1997. He's also served in law enforcement. WYMT's Phil Pendleton spoke with Ross and has more from Boyle County.
Greg Ross will officially start as the superintendent of Danville schools on July 1st, but he's already hit the ground running. And he has both law enforcement and education in his background. In fact, he was teaching in Paducah, very close to Heath High School, when that terrible school shooting happened in December of 1997. Ross has a different perspective based on what happened in that community during that time and the fact that he started in education and coaching, went to the police academy, and then went back into teaching. He says being a patrol officer in Paducah was one of the greatest things he's ever done, and he had some great experiences that he's able to use today.
I really learned some valuable things that allowed me to be a better educator. And I think one thing is also just going in expecting the best in people. You know, yes, you may have to address things in a difficult way, but you expect the best out of people.
Ross is a part of civic leaders, educators, and police officers working to hopefully prepare for and to prevent the unthinkable, a school shooting. In Boyle County, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
Ross says the school shooting at Heath had a much different impact on other schools in the Paducah area than it would now, in that the school he taught at finished the school day. He says an event at one school now would result in lockdowns at others. In 2014, it was announced that a horse track would be coming to Corbin and Williamsburg, and it is finally happening. At the end of 2021, ground was broken for the track in Williamsburg called Cumberland Mint. In early 2022, they broke ground in Corbin on the track Cumberland Run, adding two new additions to one of Kentucky's most popular passions, horse racing.
They had plans to expand what we had in Kentucky Downs years ago when they first bought it in 19. So now we get to where we're at now, that they've expanded their footprint in Kentucky and are looking to do bigger and better things from a horse racing perspective and an HHR.
While the process has begun, both tracks are expected to be finished by the end of 2022, but an actual date has not been set yet. A shower trailer is now in Hazard. The Little Flower Clinic partnered with other health organizations to park a trailer with showers outside of its Main Street location. Clinic CEO Ellen Vance says it's for anyone just needing to clean up.
This is just one way of giving back to the community and saying, come here, take a shower, feel good, see the providers, you know, let us help make your day.
The trailer is open from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. every weekday through June.
A fantastic weather afternoon continues here at the Polk Salad Festival in downtown Harlan. It has been a gorgeous day out here today after a little bit of cloudiness early on, and that was the fact around most of the mountains as we started this Friday morning. However, as we ease on into Friday evening, it's looking fantastic outside. Well, let's go to the cameras. We've seen it, what it's like here in Harlan. Beautiful. Same thing as we head around the region. To our camera at I-75 at Mount Vernon, just a few fair weather clouds, otherwise blue skies in abundance this afternoon over just to our south and west. Or I should say to our north and east into portions of Whitesburg. 77 right now the temperature in downtown Whitesburg. It's all quiet down Main Street at this hour. Pushing on through around the region, upper 70s to near 80. We've now clocked in at 80 in Irvin and Manchester. We've come down a couple degrees. Jacksboro's now at 77, Middlesboro at 78, Jonesville at 79, and it's 77 where I stand here in downtown Harlan. On the radar, just a few fair weather clouds this afternoon, just picking up on a little bit of that low level moisture. It's not a ton of moisture out there. We got some leftover burgers and dogs for Memorial Day. Tonight would be a great night to go ahead and fire the grill up, and you left comfortable this evening. Low humidity, temperatures falling into the mid and lower 70s as we eventually get to mostly clear skies as the sun sets later on tonight. Now, coming up in just a little bit, I've got the latest on how long the nice weather looks to stick around and when a few showers may try to scoot back into the forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
Evan, thank you. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver is calling for Brittney Griner's release from Russian custody. She's been held for more than 100 days. Silver held a news conference in San Francisco Thursday before the first game of the NBA Finals. Russian authorities arrested the Phoenix Mercury star and Olympic gold medalist at the Moscow airport in February, claiming to find cannabis oil in her luggage.
It's been now over 100 days since she's been illegally held in Russia. I think it's something that all of us should be heard on, contacting your representatives and others. I will only say we are working in lockstep with the U.S. government and outside experts on trying to expedite her release in any way we can. Certainly, our hearts go out to her and her family, and just are eager for her safe return. And so I joined my colleagues in the WNBA in making reference to her as well.
The Women's National Basketball Players Association has launched a website to allow visitors to sign a petition calling for Griner's release. That website is wearebg.org. After a 3-week manhunt, the search for convicted murderer Gonzalo Lopez ended last night. Texas law enforcement found the prison escapee, but not in time to avoid a tragedy. Officers found a family of 5 killed inside their weekend cabin in Texas. The home was in the area where authorities searched for Lopez since he escaped. After a car chase, Lopez got out of the vehicle with a gun and shot at law enforcement officers who shot back and killed Lopez. Momentum is growing in Washington, D.C. for some kind of action on gun control measures. President Biden says his staff has been constantly engaged as lawmakers negotiate towards agreement on a package that could pass the evenly divided U.S. Senate. CBS's Natalie Brand is on Capitol Hill with more on what a final bill could include.
I will do what I can to try to see that we have some real progress.
Friday, President Biden reiterated his demands for Congress to pass gun control legislation less than 24 hours after his impassioned plea for action.
How many more innocent American lives must be taken before we say enough, enough?
The president has called for a ban on high-capacity magazines, universal background checks, new safe storage laws, and red flag laws, and a return to the assault weapons ban of 1994, which he helped pass as a senator.
Support for a ban on assault weapons is consistently polled to show support more than 50%.
Christian Heine of the Brady campaign lost his mother in a shooting that also injured his father. He's hopeful the bipartisan talks now underway in the Senate could finally lead to some action.
The American people are angry about this. They are fed up, and they are calling on our senators to come together. So, our impression is that these talks are real.
While there's optimism among the Senate negotiators that a deal can be reached, the measures they're discussing are narrow, closing background check loopholes, mental health, and school safety.
Now is the time for my Republican colleagues to put up or shut up.
This needs to be done and must be done consistent with the Constitution.
Over in the House, the Judiciary Committee voted to advance a more extensive gun control package along party lines, including a measure to raise the age to buy a semi-automatic rifle from 18 to 21. The proposals could get a full vote in the House as early as next week, but they face steep odds in the Senate. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Next week, parents of one of the victims as well as young survivors of the Uvalde, Texas mass shooting are scheduled to testify before House lawmakers. The mother of a Buffalo, New York shooting victim will also testify. Coming up on First at 4, the job market remains strong, but there are signs hiring could slow in the coming months. A look at the results of a new report.
Beautiful sunshine continues as we finish out the work week. Will it continue as we head into the first weekend of the month? I've got the details coming up next.